Fit for the job, we talked about fit for the job. Are you attired properly for the job? That's something that we haven't touched on. What kind of attire would you require while being an affordable housing property manager, while being an assistant manager, hell, even being a maintenance tech, regional manager? Maintenance tech is different, they have their own. If you're a maintenance tech, you're pretty much always going to be in uniform. You're always going to be in utilities. You're always going to have boots on. Unless you're going to the corporate office, then you should always be ready to work, ready to get dirty. As being an office worker, being a property manager, you wear many different hats. You have many different jobs, and you can have many different attire. So, example, your company has a dress code. You want to adhere to your company's dress code. It's there you're giving off an image. You're presenting yourself. You're the face of the company. When people think of the company that you work for, the apartments that you're managing, they're gonna see you, and based off what you are wearing, they're going to judge you. People judge you based off what you're wearing, in case you didn't know. Okay, so if you dress like you're still in your pajamas and you haven't hygiened and you just woke up and you haven't washed your face and you still got crust on your eyes and your socks are all dirty, people are going to treat you like that. It doesn't matter if you're 6 foot tall and super good looking. You're going to look like shit. You're going to look like a bum. Okay? So adhere to your company's dress code. But generally, when you're working in the office, most of the time, us male managers, we'll wear some dress pants, or we'll wear slacks, or we'll wear some active 511s. 511s are pretty good, and it's good because it has the very formal presentation, but it's still active. It's a still active wear, basically. Because you're going to be moving around a lot. Even if you're in the office, you're moving around the office, you're getting up, you're sitting down, you might have to go crawl down to get something, you might go outside. So it's good to have these types of active wears. Generally, you want a collared shirt, whether it's a polo or a button-up shirt. Generally, that's what you want to wear while you're in the office. Unless your company has a company sweater, you can use that. But like I said, you're an office worker, you want to present yourself as an office worker. So that's going to be your office attire. That's pretty much what you'll wear 9 out of 10 every single day. There's some special days. You will have special days in affordable housing property management where you are required to be in the field. You're required to be out in the field all day. Maybe not all day, but most of the day, or multiple times a day. So if you're going out in the field, and whether that means they're doing construction on a new apartment, they're repairing something outside, there is a rehabilitation to the building going on, there's a big landscaping job, there's a parking lot job going on. All these are big construction jobs, and you could be asked to watch over these jobs, and you need to be dressed appropriately for those jobs. It doesn't really make too much sense to wear your office attire if you're out in the field, okay? So you want to invest in a good pair of working boots, okay? So whether that's, and you can wear those in the office too. You look for something that's kind of like office type, but you also want a pair of working boots too. Like I like Timberlands are pretty good. Those are good. There's a maintenance shoe. There's a freaking maintenance shoe, and I forgot what it's called, but you can get it at like most boot places, and it's the shoe that's like square on where the foot is at. It's square. You'll start recognizing it. Look at all the people who do maintenance, plumbing, everything. They all wear the freaking same shoe. Okay, so get yourself a pair of those boots. Those are pretty good. Make sure that when you're out in the field and you're watching over any construction or anything's like going on, make sure you are wearing your hard hat, okay? Can't tell you how many times I've heard about things falling and almost hitting somebody just because somebody's stupid and kicked it. I've seen it happen too, okay? They might do it on purpose also. So make sure you have your freaking hard hat on, okay? Because you don't want something fall on your head and crack you over the head and kill you while you're out just walking around on a freaking job site, okay? Just looking around, making notes, doing your job, and then some bullshit just falls, and not even like something hard, just a little thing like this just falls and just hits you because you didn't have your hard hat on. Get yourself a hard hat, get yourself a bump helmet. Most of the companies that you're gonna work for will have the hard hat on site in the office. Okay, so anytime you go out to do anything like that, you should be wearing that to protect yourself. You should also be wearing eye protection. When you're out on any of these jobs, there's shit flying around. They could be grinding the sidewalk, little piece of sidewalk and fly, hit you in the eye. Always wear eye protection. They have these plain goggles that you could put on. Goes without saying, get a good pair of gloves. You need a good pair of gloves. They have some gloves that say mechanic on them that have protection on the knuckles. Those are pretty good, and they're cheap too. You can find yourself a good expensive pair, or you can find yourself a cheap pair. The point is you want to protect your hands. Protect your hands. Because you work with your hands in the office, and if your freaking hands break or they get all cut up and shit and you can't write because you're leaving blood on the paper and everything, then you're useless. Okay? So protect your hands, protect your eyes, protect your head, protect your feet, wear the proper attire. Sometimes, and then also when you also want to invest in, so if you've been in the military, you know that you get inspected, and they also inspect your uniform. And so good practice is to keep one uniform that is inspection ready that you don't use at all. You keep it in your closet. And so on the day that you get inspected, you throw that uniform on because you know that your freaking belt is exactly 4 inches on this side. You know that everything that's on your uniform is in regulation. 670-1. But you don't use that one every day because it gets moved around, so you keep that one to the side. So it should be the same thing, that all these different days will happen. You'll have a specific uniform for that specific day that you're not using any other day, and you'll throw that on. Sometimes you got to go to the big office, to the corporate office, okay? A little bit more formal that day. You want to give off a more formal presentation, okay? You want to show people in the corporate office that their property is in good hands and is being run by professionals. Part of that is giving off a professional demeanor, okay? So when you go to the corporate office, you want to be a little bit more formal. When you have inspections, when you have city inspectors coming over, same thing, a little bit more formal. Sometimes, so you can go on patrol. So, like you're supposed to walk your property, and what that means is you're supposed to patrol your property twice a day, early in the morning and late at night, just to get an idea of any crime, just to show that there's a presence, that there's a security presence. I've talked about that in my previous video. You're not there to be the police, you're not there to be security, but you are walking around, you're showing a presence, and you're observing, and you're seeing what's going on. It's like you're operating in a foreign zone and you're out on patrol. You need to see what's going on. Getting intel. Depending on the area you're in. So I've worked in an area where I wore a stab vest when I would be on patrol. Okay? You can buy one. They're $200, maybe cheaper. It's just a vest that you put on like this. It's, mine personally is ballistic proof as well, but it works just fine as a stab vest. And it's just something that you can use to keep yourself safe, to make yourself feel safe. It just depends on the area you're working on. Like I said, my first day at working in that area, I got attacked by a homeless person, so that kind of gave me an idea of how it's going to be. And I was right. It was a very hairy area. I'll make another video about all the crazy shit that happened to me in that specific property. But you also want to keep a cool head and avoid getting yourself into dangerous situations. Protect yourself, all right? No harm in protecting yourself, okay? You need to protect yourself. How are you going to manage the property if you're not safe? A lot of women managers, they carry pepper spray. Sure, why not? Me personally, I'm more of on a less aggressive approach. So I feel like if I were to carry pepper spray, I would look kind of aggressive. So I don't carry pepper spray. But some women, they feel safer carrying pepper spray. I'm not going to tell you not to. They have, actually, come to think of it, the women in this business, they carry more weapons than the guys do. I knew a manager who carried a gun in her purse. I had another manager, she had, actually a lot of women managers, a lot of women, they have this like cat eye thing. It's like this thing you put your fingers in and it's got two sharp points like this, and it's meant to poke you in the eye with these two sharp points. You know, I have a manager who carried that. There was a manager who, she had a ring and she unscrewed it and there's a knife underneath the ring so she could punch you. There's another manager who carried handcuffs. I don't know what the hell that was about. Literally, the most I've ever carried was just my stab vest and a whistle in case I need a call for help, and a flashlight. So it really just depends, you know. I mean, I understand if you're a woman, maybe you feel like you need to be more on the defensive, you know, you're more vulnerable, whatever. Me, I've never really felt that way. But like I said, you know, you gotta keep yourself safe, avoid putting yourself in dangerous situations, protect your head, protect your eyes, protect your hands, protect your feet, wear the proper attire for your job, and stay safe out there.